Title: I always kept work and personal life separate. Until him. I used to believe in one very firm rule. Work and personal life should always remain separate. No overlap, no emotional distractions. My job was my priority, and I never let anything interfere. That belief kept me grounded, focused, safe. But life has a funny way of testing the very walls we build. It all started on a cold Monday morning. I remember how gray the sky looked as I walked into the office, already feeling the weight of deadlines and the never-ending tasks that come with corporate life. I settled into my usual spot, surrounded by the familiar chaos, keyboards clicking, phones ringing, the low hum of conversations. Then I heard a voice behind me, firm yet unexpectedly warm. "You've been working late too often. Don't burn yourself out." I turned around, surprised. It was Mr. Lawson, my boss. He wasn't someone known for casual chats or light-hearted check-ins. He carried a commanding presence, the kind that made everyone in the office walk a little straighter when he entered a room. Professional, respected, a little intimidating, if I'm honest. But that day, his voice held something different. Concern. I gave a polite smile. "Just trying to keep up with the workload." He studied me for a moment, those sharp eyes almost seeing more than I was willing to show. "Dedication is good," he said, "but balance is better." And just like that, he walked away. But something in me shifted. For days, I couldn't stop thinking about that exchange. I had always seen him as distant, brilliant, yes, but removed, focused solely on performance and outcomes. But that one simple comment hinted at something more. That he noticed things. That he noticed me. Then came the evening that changed everything. It was late. Most of the office had cleared out, leaving behind the soft glow of desk lamps and the quiet tap of my keyboard. I was buried in reports when I sensed someone approaching. Looking up, I saw him again. Mr. Lawson. "You need a break," he said gently. "I'll be done soon," I replied, expecting him to leave like always. But he didn't. Instead, he pulled out a chair and sat across from me. The silence that followed felt strange, tense, yet oddly intimate. Then he asked, "Why do you push yourself so hard?" I hesitated. No one had ever asked me that. "I guess I want to prove myself," I said after a moment. "To whom?" he asked, his tone quieter now. The question hit harder than I expected. I opened my mouth, then closed it again. I didn't have an answer, at least not one I wanted to say out loud. "You already have," he said, his eyes locked on mine. "But you don't see it, do you?" His words cut through every layer of self-doubt I had carefully built over the years. They weren't empty flattery. They felt real. For the first time in all the years I'd worked under him, I felt seen. Trying to lighten the moment, I chuckled. "Are you always this philosophical after hours?" A rare smile tugged at his lips. "Only when necessary." That moment lingered with me. Long after he left, long after I got home. It followed me into the next day, and the day after that. I found myself noticing him in new ways. The way his eyes softened when he listened. The subtle kindness behind his composed demeanor. I had never seen him like that before. Or maybe I had. And I was just now allowing myself to admit it. Then, one afternoon, an email popped up on my screen. From Mr. Lawson. Subject, meeting, my office. It was brief, professional, but something about it made my heart skip a beat. I walked into his office, telling myself it was just work, that nothing had changed. He was standing by the window, his gaze fixed on the city below. Close the door, he said, not looking back. I did as he asked, suddenly very aware of how quiet the room was. Then he turned around, and there was something different in his expression. It wasn't just authority. It was something deeper. I need to ask you something, he began. His voice was steady, but there was tension beneath it. I nodded slowly. What would you say if I told you that I admire you beyond your work? For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My mind scrambled to catch up. What do you mean? He stepped closer, just enough to make my heart falter. I see you. The way you carry yourself. How hard you work without expecting recognition. It hasn't gone unnoticed. I swallowed hard. You've never said anything before. I probably shouldn't be saying it now, he admitted, a small smile breaking through. But some things refuse to stay quiet. I looked at him, really looked at him. The man I'd worked with for years, admired, respected, and maybe unknowingly felt something more for. This is unexpected, I whispered. He nodded, as if understanding the storm behind my eyes. I won't pressure you, but I also won't pretend anymore. In that moment, the world tilted. The rules we had both followed so carefully were gone, and the scariest part? I wasn't sure I wanted them back. The days that followed were complicated. Every glance, every conversation between us carried something new, something unspoken, but impossible to ignore. He started lingering near my desk. His tone softened when he spoke to me. I caught him watching me during meetings, his gaze holding just a second too long. Then one evening, as I packed my things to leave, I heard his voice again. Stay a moment. He stood by his office door, his expression unreadable. I followed him inside, heart pounding. This isn't easy, he said quietly. I know what people might think. I know the risks, but I also know what I feel. I gripped my bag tighter. And what is that? That I admire you, that I respect you, and that despite every reason not to, I want more than just a professional relationship with you. A shaky breath escaped me. I had dreamed of this, imagined what it might feel like, but reality was heavier, more terrifying, more real. This is complicated, I said softly. I know. He stepped closer, his presence grounding me. I won't ask for an answer tonight. I just need you to know this isn't a passing thought. I searched his face for any sign of doubt, but all I saw was certainty. And for the first time, I allowed myself to feel it too. I'm scared, I admitted. So am I, he replied, his voice raw. And just like that, the line between us disappeared. In the days that followed, we didn't speak about it again. But everything had changed. Our connection hung in the air between us, unspoken but alive. Then, one evening, just as I was leaving, my phone buzzed with a message. Meet me on the rooftop. I paused. I knew what this meant. I knew that if I went, there'd be no turning back. But my feet moved before my fear could catch up. The rooftop was quiet. The city lights shimmered in the distance. He stood by the railing, hands in his pockets, waiting. I didn't want to leave things unfinished, he said. Neither did I. He looked at me, calm but searching. Then tell me what you want. I took a breath, and then the truth spilled out. I want to stop pretending this isn't real. Relief washed over his face. Something like hope lit up his eyes. Then, with a soft laugh and a slow step forward, he said, just like that, just like that. And for the first time, nothing else mattered. Not the job, not the risks. Just us, and the truth we could no longer hide.